Hello and welcome, friends. I hope everybody's had a great day so far. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're back, welcome back. I greatly appreciate all of the ongoing support. This is my channel, Dragonsjewel Creative Gems, and I'm Tegan, and I'm just going to get all that wonderful YouTube-y stuff out of the way first. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please consider doing so. It's just down below. If you like the content that you see, don't forget to give a like. And of course, any love, comments, suggestions, all those wonderful things. There's that comment section below as well for all that wonderful stuff. So today we are back doing our good old wip&chats. So we are going to catch up. Now normally I do these every 2 weeks, but December was busy. Busy. I had to put it off. I had to postpone it. All the good stuff. So we have lots of catching up to do. I think my last one was just before the December 6th kind of weekend there. So yeah, been a while, been a good month. So I'm going to tear off my little section here that I am working on. And I am working on Galaxy Girl from Diamond Art Club. This was originally a canvas I did not think I was going to have in my stash. But then I saw her completed by somebody in the VIP group and just fell in love with the final look. So that's what ended up prompting me to get her. So yeah, I'm just going to get my first color happening here. And then we'll get going into the things. It is Friday, and I know normally my videos come out Friday. I try to film them on the Thursday, but once again, life has been busy, so I'm doing it as I can when I can. So hopefully this one will get out at my normal 3 p.m. Mountain time that I like to get it out for. So yeah, we're hoping it should work out because it's just after 10 in the morning right now. My little guy is at school because he went back this week from his winter break. So yeah, we've just kind of been getting back on the schedule of things, getting back into the flow of things. I haven't been doing so great, but we'll get into all of that, of course. Yeah, so we're gonna start way back towards like the December 6th timeline frame. December got very busy. I don't have exact dates for everything, but I don't think you need exact dates necessarily. Anyways, my hubby had his work Christmas party, so of course we attended. That was one of the events that we attended in December. That was the usual. They do a kind of cocktail time frame. They do a buffet style dinner, and they have raffle tickets that you can get. Don't forget to get yourself a coffee or something. I've got mine here. I just realized I jumped right into the talking and I didn't even explain any of my tools, nothing, but that's okay. That's fine. I don't have to do that every time, do I? Yeah, so we did that. They did like a little raffle, so they have probably close to 100 some prizes that they give away, which include tickets to hockey games and luxury kind of brand purses and wallets and gift cards out to restaurants and liquor bottles, different liquors and stuff. So they had tons and tons of prizes. We didn't win anything. We usually buy a couple of tickets though, because you never know when you might get lucky. They had some good concerts and stuff that we were interested in, because we always read kind of what the prizes are and then determine to get tickets. We didn't stay the whole time this time. We kind of went for the dinner portion and then came home. We sat at a really great table though, with some guys that my husband has worked for or with in the past, and their significant others. So, and some he knew pretty well, and the others he kind of worked with once or twice. But you know, it was a great table. There's lots of good conversations. There was not really kind of like a quiet moment, really. So that was nice, because sometimes you can kind of sit at a table and then you kind of run out of things to say. There was nothing like that happening, so that was awesome. I was sitting next to one of his coworkers' wives and had a really great conversation with her kind of throughout the evening while we were there, so that was kind of nice. We did do that. What else? We did my mom's birthday celebration, which was closer to that December 6th mark, and we went to the zoo, which they kind of do a, they call it zoominescence. It's where they light up the zoo with Christmas lights. You walk through, you kind of see some of the animals that are still up and awake. You never know who you're going to see. The red panda was out, which was awesome. It was really cool because when we first got over to his enclosure, he was nibbling on some food. So we were, which was kind of right up against the window area. So we got a really good view of kind of checking him out and seeing what he was up to before he decided to venture out into the outdoor area of his enclosure and climb some of the trees there and kind of start doing his exploring and stuff. We got to see kind of all the indoor goats and llamas and stuff like that they have inside, the chickens, the bunnies. They kind of have like a little farm animal area set up. And then who else did we see? We got to see a bunch of the lizards and snakes and reptiles, a couple of monkeys, of course. We got to see who else did we see? We didn't go through the zoo, the whole zoo, so there were some areas that we didn't go and see if the animals were up to anything, just because of timing and stuff. We did get to see the Arctic wolf. Unfortunately, his mate passed away. Oh my god, that was such a sad story, because the people at the zoo, I guess he took it really hard. He was a mess. He was howling. He was trying to call for her, and really sad. He's been on his own for a while in his enclosure, and right now they're working on a new enclosure. They've brought in two females for him to keep him company, but right now they're still kind of isolated from each other until that new enclosure happens, which I found out may take a little bit longer than they had hoped, just because funding. So it sounds like they're low on a little bit of funds to continue and to complete it, but they're definitely going to be doing fundraising to get that happening, because yeah, they think that'll kind of brighten and cheer up his mood. He was out, he wasn't moving around or doing much. He was just kind of resting in the snow, sleeping. But yeah, we got to go see him. Yeah, so it was a nice little zoo outing. So we did do that. And then what else? I, of course, had a dental appointment, which that was a whole gong show in itself, because my dumb self, not thinking, just, I don't know, I had the dates mixed up. I thought it was a whole week before. We were having some car issues. My SUV, the battery needed to be replaced, so we were down to the one vehicle, and my hubby was at work, of course, and it was during a cold snap, so where normally I could have walked over to my dentist, it was a little bit cold, and of course I thought I had this appointment, so my stepdad was kind enough to come pick me up, drive me over there, drop me off for the appointment, and then go do his stuff. And then he was planning on coming to pick me up later, while I had to walk back in the cold because, yeah, I had the wrong week. I had the right day and the right time. I just had the wrong week. What a mess. What a mess. And of course, they were so kind. They were trying to see if they had any availability, see if they could get me in, but yeah, it didn't happen. Yeah, so that was kind of me messing up appointments, and that probably didn't help because I did have so many appointments with my son prior to that. That's probably why I did mix up my own appointment, just because I couldn't keep appointments straight anymore. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking anyways, because normally I don't do stuff like that. I'm usually very good with keeping track of stuff like that. But yeah, so that was fun. I did get to my dental appointment on the proper day and time, so that wasn't an issue, of course. We had tickets to go see, it was, I think, called a Drag Queen Christmas, I believe is what it was called. It was played at our local kind of Broadway theater, called Jubilee. Not Jubilee. Jubilations. No, Jubilee. Jubilee Auditorium, yeah, sorry. Jubilations is another dinner theater. But yeah, so it was called Drag Queen Christmas, and it was actually, I think they said it was like their 10th annual, but it was their first time ever coming into Canada for their tour. But it was a bunch of contestants from the RuPaul drag show. I've heard of the TV show, but I've never watched it. But apparently the ladies that were doing the entertainment, coming out, all of that, they were from various seasons. So there was, I can't even remember how many came out, but anyways, they had one who was kind of like the host, and then she would introduce them, say what season they were from, that kind of thing. Obviously, there were people in the crowd who have watched it because they were hooting and hollering and really getting excited over certain ones coming out and doing their performances, so you could kind of tell that they knew some of them via the show and were excited to see them. So that was really, really fun. It was a very interactive night with the audience and the crowd. But yeah, they basically performed, and it was all Christmas themed kind of stuff, so they made it dancing and singing to Christmas songs. There was some humor thrown in there, which was amazing. They did kind of like a version of the Grinch, but she was female. And what would she wear to the down to Whoville for the award? It was hilarious. Absolutely awesome, though. Very, very well done. It was a fun night. I had gone out for dinner with my mom, my aunt, one of my aunt's really good friends who she also worked with for the longest time, and then it was that lady's mom and daughter who was in from the Yukon for the holidays. So there was a bunch of us ladies that all went together. It was a blast, though, because we did dinner beforehand, and then we went to the show. It was just a really, really fun night and very nice to get out of the house. But it was very well done. So that was kind of like a fun thing. And then my aunt's birthday we did at Luminescence, which is at one of the botanical gardens near us. And this kind of same thing, much like the zoo one, they kind of light up one of the gardens with a bunch of lanterns along the pathways and some stuff like that. And then they had a bunch of little bonfires lit up in certain spots along the way, so that you can kind of stop and warm up by them. They did what they called a wishing tree, so you could write a wish down on a paper kind of star and hang it on the tree, make a wish. They had that. Basically, that one is not so much Christmas lights, it's the lanterns, and it's a great way to remember any of your loved ones who can't be there with you for the holidays because they've passed on. So yeah, that's kind of a nice little way to kind of honor them, is to do something like that, because they have what they call memory lane, where you can light a lantern for a loved one and kind of place it and kind of spend a moment remembering them and their life and kind of celebrating who they were and that kind of thing, and feeling like a little bit like they're there kind of in the moment anyways. So yeah, we did that. I ended up putting a donation towards one of the lanterns, and I did one in honor of a friend that I lost to, what was that now? A couple of years back now, but he had taken his own life, unfortunately. And I still really, really, really miss him. And this would be a time of year that normally, you know, we would get together with him and we would see him at least once while he's visiting family in the area. So yeah, it was nice. I wanted to light a second one in honor of another friend, but that we had lost just shortly before that friend as well, but I only did the one. I was kind of hoping maybe my hubby would have done the other one, but he didn't. He didn't want to be outside in the cold after being in work all day and stuff like that, so he was he chose to stand by one of the fires and kind of warm up while I did that. But yeah, so we did that. That was nice. What else? Oh yes, and then of course my little man had an appointment with his follow-up with his surgeon, so she got to take a peek at the back of his head. You've probably heard me talk about this, but he had a bed sore from a previous surgery. He's had 2 surgeries since because of a bed sore that was created from his previous surgery to just kind of make it hit the bald spot that appeared because it had killed all his hair follicles. Just a little bit smaller. So we had that follow-up appointment to see how much stretching had occurred and kind of discuss thoughts and plans going forward. Unfortunately, it's looking like he's going to need at least another 1 or 2. And his surgeon briefly discussed the possibility of, there's 2 spots. There's one that's smaller and then one that was really large. And we've worked twice now on the large one. So we discussed the possibility of giving that larger one a longer break and going in and working on that smaller one. So I said I'm fine with that. I know it's both eventually going to need to get done. It's not a quick process by any means, so I told her I was kind of good with that, and so she said that's probably at this point what she might do, but she'll make the kind of decision probably the day of as well. So there's room. It's open kind of thing. But it gives her the opportunity that if she thinks the other one still needs a little bit more rest, she can work on that smaller one. That kind of thing. Try to reduce that one and then come back to the larger one. But yeah, so we discussed that option, and that's looking like that'll probably take place in about that 6-month mark, which puts us at like June, July, kind of summerish. And then of course, if they get busy, possibly late summer, fall is what it's looking like anyways. Get my next color ready here while I'm also thinking. And then after all of that, the kiddo went on to his winter break from school. He came home with a ton of presents. His teacher had gave him something, and then like 3 of the students had sent home gifts. So he came home with a whole pile of goodies that we put under the tree and opened on Christmas Day. The gift from his teacher happened to be a book called How to Catch a Snowman. It's a super, super cute story about kids trying to catch a snowman and creating traps with their scarves, and then they tried to build like a little igloo and load it up with hats and scarves so that the snowman would come and kind of want to get for himself. And it's really cute. But my son absolutely loves this story and this book so much that we have read it nightly to him. Because we let him choose what he wants read, and then we ask him who he wants to read it. So he gets to choose whether Dad gets to read it or Mom gets to read it. Mom obviously being me, but yeah, we let him choose. But yeah, it's been the same book for like the last week or two since we first read it to him. So he is loving it. That's kind of his go-to book right now. And then we had my sister, brother-in-law who came up for the holidays, my niece, her hubby, and her 2 boys, which would be essentially like whatever it is, but basically cousins to my little guy. And they just love to get together. There's one that's like, I think it's a year and a bit older than the other. The other one's very, very like months away from my son in age, just obviously without the delays. But yeah, they all love getting together and hanging out and playing together. So they were thrilled to be hanging out with each other over the holidays. Super happy to see each other. So that was nice. He got to play with them. And then, of course, Christmas Day, everybody came over to our house. So that whole group that came up to visit for holidays came over. My parents came over. One of my aunts and cousins came over. So we had 13 people here total, plus, of course, Ace and Janaya. My dogs, they were both here. Sorry, just looking for the next color here. So yeah, they were both here. So it was a very, very full, busy, chaotic household, but it was very, very lovely all at once. So at the same time, we didn't have everybody open for the present opening. We just kind of did the Secret Santa gifts that we exchanged among the kids. So like Riley got gifts from everybody, and then my niece's boys got gifts from everybody. So a lot of that was kind of opened up here when we were all together, so everybody could kind of see them open their gifts. Obviously the ones that we gave Riley and Santa gave Riley, he opened before everybody came, so we didn't spend the entire time opening gifts kind of thing, but enough that, you know, everybody could kind of enjoy, say thanks to their Secret Santas, that kind of thing. Yeah, and then we did the dinner. So it was a very, very lovely evening. It was so nice to see everybody, of course. Well, they were all up on the Christmas Eve too. We all got together, except my aunt and cousin didn't come to that, but my sister and niece and all of them and my parents and us, we all went to the ledge grounds in my city, and we did a walk on Christmas Eve there, just because they light up they set up like a whole light kind of display and light up the grounds, and so it's a very nice little evening walk to kind of do, and lots of families seem to do that one. So lots of people are checking it out. It's because it's outdoors. We usually get lots of people with dogs that come to as well, lots of families, that kind of thing. So it's very, very nice. So we of course did that Christmas Eve. After we all had our dinner, we all met up down there and did like a little walk with everybody, got a kind of gathered for a family picture for the holidays, that kind of thing. So that was nice. And then what else? Oh yes, the fun begins after all of that. Then we came to, I think it was Boxing Day. My back was starting to bug me, and I decided, oh, I'm gonna have a nice hot warm bath. and kind of ease up some of those muscles. Well, the bathtub tap had a whole other plan for me. That is still a bit of a gong show. Not sure what's happening with that yet. Got to figure that out. But anyways, let me turn it on. I'm filling up the bath. I'm pouring it. It's nice, hot, warm water with my bubble bath in it and all that good stuff. I'm getting ready to settle in, and I'm just waiting for it to fill up, and it's getting closer, it's getting closer, it's getting closer. I go to turn it off. Well, I turn the tap, but it's not turning off. It's still pouring. So I'm like, oh crap. So I turn it back the other way, thinking, hey, well, I don't know, maybe if I turn it back and try it again, maybe something just didn't catch, or that kind of thing. And so I did it again. I still wasn't turning off. It's still filling up, and I'm going, like, obviously we have the overflow thing, but only so much water can go through it. So I'm going, oh crap, at this point, because it's not turning off. So I go out and I call for my hubby. I'm like, I need you now. The tap in the bathtub isn't turning off. So of course he goes downstairs. He tries to turn it off. We discover we don't have like a main shut off thing. So he does the best that he can. He turns off the hot water and gets it so that it's only dripping a tiny bit through the tap. And he was like, well, I could either like basically forfeit the nice warm bath that I poured myself, or and he can fix it right that second, or I can hop into the bath and he'd look at doing it afterwards. And I mean, he got it just dripping the cold water very slowly. So I thought, well, I might as well take advantage of the bath. My back's sore, it'll help. Well, unfortunately, even just with that little bit of that cold water dripping, it cooled down my bath way too quickly. I think I only got to enjoy maybe 15 minutes of the nice warm water before it was kind of cold and I had to get out. So yeah, that was kind of a little bit of a disappointing bath. And then he talks to my stepdad, who's a plumber, and tries to figure out, okay, what's our best action. And then he basically said, well, go get the guts of the tap. So he went to try to go to our local hardware store, not even thinking that it's Boxing Day and they're closed on different, like, holiday hours. So bummer. We had to kind of rig it up so it wasn't dripping after phoning my stepdad back and getting that all sorted and figured out. So we're like, okay, well, we'll get EPCOR, who is our city water people, to come turn off the main valve outside of our house, and then we'll put it in a main valve leading to the house so that we can deal with this and fix our tap in our upstairs bathroom. Well, they come out on the call. They didn't tell us they were coming. We just all of a sudden see them out getting ready to shut off the water. So my husband goes out to talk to them, kind of say, like, hey, you know, once you turn it off, blah, 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 that kind of thing. Wow. This is where the gong show starts. The guy's trying to turn it off, and the main water valve snaps, breaks. So now he can't turn it off in the main water valve leading to our house. And he said that they're going to have to put in a request for the HVAC to come dig so that they can fix that thing, that valve, and that they're also going to have to go somewhere further down the line to shut it off in order to do that. Oh my goodness. So needless to say, right now, our upstairs bathroom, we can't use the tub or shower because we've got to wait for them to come do this. They're supposed to call us to let us know so that we can coordinate when to put in this tap, because my stepdad's going to put it in for us, and then we can deal with the tap and at our own leisure, kind of once we have that other valve in. And for future instances, because crap like this apparently happens. Yeah, so that's a total gong show there. So right now we are can't have any baths in the house, but we can still shower. There's a shower in our downstairs bathroom. It's just not as nice of a shower. It's much smaller, and it's just like one of those little shower kind of inserts. There's just really enough room to kind of stand and shower. It's tight, and it's not the best. It's not the best shower, but it works. And it does the trick. It gets us clean. But yeah, my son is missing baths, I'm sure, because that's his kind of preference. He doesn't mind a shower, but he does like his baths and playing in the bath. And I'm definitely missing my baths. So hopefully all of this gets organized soon. But I think we're going to have to phone and find out what's happening, because we haven't heard anything yet. And yeah, I've seen nobody out front with an HVAC, and I'm home daily, so I know that hasn't happened. So yeah, kind of find out the timeline probably for that, so we can be ready and prepared to get that shut off to our house that we can access, instead of having to phone the city to access when stuff like this happens. Of course, we didn't know this was a thing until this happened. Yeah, so that's fun. That's our bathtub hose. And then, since all of that, I took Ace over to my parents the other day to do a little play date with their puppy. These two are the best of friends. They get so excited and happy when they get to see each other and play. So I think we spent probably a good half hour of just them solidly playing in the backyard, running around, doing their thing. And then we're trying to get them to learn to do kind of a calmer, only like tug-of-war style play in the house, not like the full-on wrestle that they do when they're outside. So we're doing short periods in the house and kind of teaching them that they have to settle down when they're in the house and adapt their play style if they're going to play in the house, kind of thing. But of course, the second they wrestle, we had them back out in the yards. Then I think we did like another probably, I don't know, at least half hour or so of back and forth doing that, in and out of the house. And then it took about 2 hours total anyways to get them to just to a point where they would just settle down in the house, both just kind of lie down, relax. They did a little bit of tug-of-war in the house, so we let them do that so they knew that was okay to do in the house. But if they ramped it up, then we kind of slowed them down and separated them. So it took a little bit, but it's doable. Eventually they are going to be able to both be in the house and not be so crazy. But it's still a work in progress. Ace was quite happy with all of that, of course. So that was just the other day, Thursday. And then I was fighting with my garage door, because if anything blocks it and you're trying to close it, it doesn't close. And so that was happening when I parked my vehicle back in the garage when I got home. But I had Ace on hand, so I decided, okay, well, I'll go put him in the house first, then I'll come back out and fight with the garage door, figure out what's going on. Well, I'm trying to figure out what's blocking it. It ended up being the tiniest little bit of dry grass way off in the corner, but it wasn't letting the garage door close at all again. So I had to do that before I could close it again. But when I went back outside after putting Ace in the house and I was walking back towards the garage, I ended up slipping on some ice, and I landed pretty good on my elbow and my knee. I scraped up my knee to the point that it kind of peeled, scraped up, got all bloody. So I had to clean it up and bandage it, of course, last night or yesterday. My back still hasn't been 100% since I couldn't get a proper kind of soak and bath in, so with that landing as well, it kind of made my back stiffen up some more. I haven't been sleeping super well either because of the pain in my lower back that kind of radiates into my hips if I sleep on the one side, which is the side that I normally sleep on, and I will end up rolling over onto it often in my sleep too. So yeah, I haven't been sleeping the best because of that either. Plus, for some reason, at school, just before the holidays, my son had an instance where he wasn't sleeping very well, and I don't know how it happened, we're not sure, but another student ended up stepping on his chest, and he was down on the ground. They broke it up and got the other student off of him rather quickly by the sounds of it. It was another kid in his program, but not his class. So the only thing we could think of is that maybe he grabbed him or pushed him, because he does that when he's overtired or overstimulated and stuff like that. And other students obviously don't tolerate it as well, but it escalated to a point that they had to intervene, obviously. But ever since then, my son has not been sleeping in his room. The only way he will or did was if we sat in there with him, and even then he would wake up multiple times a night, waking us up. So we were getting pretty sleepless nights over the holidays. There were a couple times where we'd let him just sleep in our room, and then my hubby was sleeping on the couch because he hogs the other side of the bed on him. So we did that for a little bit. We finally got him back to sleeping in his room, but he's still getting, it looked like, a couple of nights where he'll sleep through the night and he's okay, but on other nights he's still waking up and waking us up. So I mean, it's not perfect. I don't know what's happening. We've changed his room around. He's got lights in there, like night lights and stuff, so it's not an issue of being afraid of the dark or anything. I'm not sure if it's part of this instance that happened at school or what, but it's really hard right now. It's really just a guessing game, trying to figure out what's bugging him, and it's really hard to figure out because he can't communicate it properly. So we're trying to ask him yes and no questions. Like, what don't you like in your room? Do you have enough light? Is your bed comfortable? Do you need music? Do you need this? Do you need that? And so we've been trying a couple of things, and I mean, it's gotten a little bit better, but it's not perfect. At least he's not sleeping in our bed anymore, but he is every couple of nights waking us up. There's been a couple of times where he's just been doing it for attention in some ways, and so we've been trying to ignore him, like pretty much locking ourselves in the room and ignoring him, even though it wakes us up, and just letting him kind of cry it out and then crawl back into bed and go to sleep. But it's making all of us overtired. Yeah, that's been real fun. Don't know what to do, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Like I said, it's a guessing game at this point. And the weird thing is, at my parents', my mom will stay in the room until he falls asleep, and then she's able to leave, and he sleeps fine throughout the night. So I don't know what the difference between their place is and our place, and we're just trying to figure that out. And then we thought, well, maybe this instance at school has something to do with it, but then I was like, if it's because he was essentially bullied and that's what he's worried about when that transition over to their place, and wake him up if he's having nightmares or anything like that. And then the only other thing that we could think of is maybe because he leaves our house to go to school. That's why it's here and not there. That's causing him some stress or something. Really hard to say, really hard to figure that one out. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with all of that. Then yeah, he's been back at school. That's been going okay. When he comes home, I always ask him yes or no. I ask him if he's had a good day. Obviously, I can't say, how was your day? Because he can't say it was good or bad or okay. I usually start with, did you have a good day? And sometimes he'll go, yeah. And then if he does, I'll take it as he's had a good day. And then if he doesn't say yeah to that, I says, was your day just okay? And then sometimes I'll get a yeah there, right? And then if I don't get kind of a yeah for either one, I'll say, was your day bad? And so that's kind of how I kind of gauge how he thinks his day went anyways. Yeah, there's that. And then of course he's only been back for this week. And they just got notice that the support staff are going to go on strike Monday. So that affects his classroom, as he's got those support staff assistants in his classroom. So that would essentially leave it with just his teacher dealing with X amount of special needs students who require medical attention and behavioral attention and stuff like that. So for the safety of students, they have let us know that unfortunately most days we're going to have my son at home during the strike until it gets resolved, because they won't have the support, what they're doing as teachers, because there's, I think, 3 classrooms in total. So to get the assistance that they need, they're essentially rotating which class comes into the school for that one-on-one kind of learning attention. So he's going to be going every 3rd day to school, and then for the 2 days that he's not in school, he's going to be at home. So essentially, depending on PD days, teachers' conventions, that sort of thing, whatever their normal, natural days off school fall, they've done up hopefully it doesn't go this long, but they've done up a 2-month schedule right now for what days each class goes in. But yeah, so that starts next week. So I have no idea how I'm going to juggle some of these Friday videos with that, because essentially, if I'm lucky, he'll go into school twice a week. But there's going to be weeks where he might only go in once. So it's going to be tough, so we'll see. I might have to postpone, move around things. I don't know. We'll see. We'll take it a day at a time. Hopefully, like I said, the strike's not going to last very long. But just a heads up there. That might change the type of videos that you're seeing. Now, next week, it's supposed to be the ghostly echoes that I get onto for the Friday. I'm hoping maybe this weekend I can get it filmed, but I really don't know. His scheduled days for going in next week are supposed to be the Monday and the Thursday right now, so he'll be in twice, but he'll be home the Tuesday, Wednesday, and the Friday. I don't know, it kind of makes things a little bit difficult because his Thursdays are also early dismissal days, so he gets home an hour earlier than he normally does on those days as well when he goes in. Yeah, so we'll see. I was really hoping to get that back on schedule, but I don't know, that one may have to be postponed. But at least we get to catch up in the new year All this crazy shenanigans. Busy December. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that pretty much catches us up to the current day, which is Friday. Yeah, and a little bit about that channel update there with this support staff strike going on with the public schools. What a time. What a time. Like, seriously, the kids just went back after being off for 2 weeks. So it's like these kids who have routines and do better with these routines, no doubt finally just got readjusted after being off 2 weeks, are now going to be not going into school every day. So yeah, I can only imagine it's going to be frustrating for the teachers as well, dealing with that, obviously, and the schools not having their support staff there, because it affects more than just the assistants in the classrooms that helps out. There's a whole bunch of jobs within schools that it affects, like their admins in the offices as well. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't last long for everybody, and once again, like the postal strike, hopefully some sort of agreement can be reached, and hopefully, unlike the postal strike, they figure it out a lot quicker and don't get forced back. That they actually, I don't know if schools can get forced back. Maybe they probably can, but hopefully all of that gets figured out and it doesn't take long, and that it kind of turns out to be a good thing. Yeah, but a little stressed out with that, worrying about how to work a channel. But like I said, I'll take it a day at a time. We'll see. I'll keep everybody updated, of course, on the community tab as we go along. So definitely keep an eye there for any news, if things are out of whack or not. So that, of course, puts us right into channel updates, which there's going to be a bunch of channel updates because, of course, it's been a while. We're in the new year now. If you haven't seen already, obviously the Canada Post strike, they got forced back to work. So mail got moving again. I got my third advent calendar that I was waiting to receive that was held hostage. That came in. I was able to unbox that, and that's already on the channel. So if you haven't checked that out, check that one out. It's a crafty based one with paper crafting supplies, so things that are good for card making, scrapbooking, that sort of thing. It was a really fun calendar to open up. It was a new to me advent calendar, even though it's been out a couple of years in a row already. But definitely fun to check out. And then, of course, my witch casket that was hostage, my November one. That one finally came too over the holidays. I got that one unboxed and up on the channel. My December one they sent as well, and that one's been received, so we are all caught up with the witch casket monthly subscription boxes. Both of those were filmed and added to the channel, so if you haven't checked those out, definitely check them out. November's theme was letting go, which honestly, getting it a little late and getting it close to this new year, perfect timing for that. I'm pretty sure I got that box when I needed it instead of when I wanted it. But yeah, so I just noticed I missed a color here. So there's that. So we're all caught up there with that stuff, which is great. No more waiting. Have the normal flow of that coming and going again. Ghostly Echoes, when I do manage to get it, which will hopefully I'll be able to get it in here and there with this support staff strike for the schools now. Oh my god, why is everybody striking right now? Seriously. I mean, I know unions are trying to do the best for their workers and stuff. It's just the timing of everything is such a mess. Such a mess. But what do you do? It's out of my hands. I just have to work with it the best I can. But yeah, when we do start those back up, you're going to start seeing stories from Saskatchewan. So that will be the province we're moving into finally. then I'm looking at shortening the channel name. It's not going to affect the content that you see. It's just going to be the name. So the name of the channel, the banners and stuff that you see will have the shortened name on it. So I mean, it does mean me doing up some new or altering the graphics and changing those up and changing up probably some links and stuff like that. But as a whole, it's not going to really affect the channel. I'm not changing the name drastically or anything. I'm just shortening it. So the name of the channel currently is Dragonsjewel Creative Gems. So all I'm doing is I'm going to drop that Creative Gems. The channel's been out there long enough that most people know now that it's kind of a diamond painting craft channel. That'll still be in the description so people can read that. It's just going to shorten up that name and make it a little easier for that YouTube algorithm to pick it up and share out some of those videos instead of having such a long name. It was some advice that was given to me a while back to do at this point with my channel, because it can boost subscribers and stuff, so I'm definitely going to give it a try. Hope it works in my favor. That kind of thing. Because of course we are still working on that 500 goal. I feel like a broken record coming to that, but we are still in around that 440. I think it's dropped a little bit because right around Christmas time YouTube does its little cleanups, so inactive subscribers get tossed, spam subscribers get booted, subscribers who haven't been on their account in a while kind of get booted, that sort of thing. So the numbers do adjust a little bit usually around this time of year because of all of that. But yeah, we are still working on that goal. We are still planning on a giveaway when we hit that goal. So definitely, once again, share out the channel where you can. Keep liking the videos, commenting on the videos, watching the videos, all that good stuff, supporting the channel in all those little avenues that you can. They're free. They don't cost you anything, which is great. They really only take a minute or two, maybe a couple of seconds, and they really help boost and help out the channel. Especially small little channels like myself. Yeah, so there's that. And then of course the Facebook group. If you're not over there, we are still very small, but it's a lovely group so far. We're sharing work in progresses, we're chatting occasionally, you know, like it's great to see what other people are working on. It would be nice to see more people over there joining us so that there's more diamond paintings to check out. And then as the group gets more active, I do want to start doing kind of some fun events and stuff in there, all that good stuff. But I have to wait for it to grow too. But it's not going to grow if you don't join. And of course, if you already joined, share it out as well. That is always helpful. People you think who are going to enjoy it. It's not just diamond painting, it's also crafty, so you can share any crafts that you work on as well in there. I definitely want to see it all because I do it all. I'm interested in it all. Yeah, and it's great just to have that too as inspiration. I definitely get inspired being in these groups and seeing what other people are working on and enjoying their projects, and then I go, hey, you know, and it also reminds me, hey, I wanted to try out that type of a project, or oh, that's really cute, I want to try making that, or you know, or I really like that diamond painting but I haven't heard of that company, that kind of thing. Or you know, maybe I'm struggling with this in one of my crafty projects or areas, reach out, all that good stuff. That's what I kind of created the group for. So it'd be nice, definitely nice to see it grow and kind of expand more and more into all of that. So definitely don't be shy. Join us over there. It's a great little community. It's a social little community. Yeah, what else? what else? Oh, new camera. Yes, I have been using a new camera here. I filmed my advent calendar and the 2 witch caskets with it now. I'm still getting a little bit used to kind of like my field of view. Obviously not so bad with something like this where it's mainly going to stay focused on the section. But for some of the unboxings, I kind of have to get used to the view. And yeah, I didn't even think when I first got it. I have a monitor that I have hooked up so that I can watch Netflix on. That's right next to my craft desk that my hubby goes, well, why don't you pull your screen over there so you can see it? Derp. Yeah. He kind of laughed at me when I said, well, that would have been smart. There's just sometimes I do not think, I just go. Yeah, so new camera, it's a webcam, so that's very, very cool. That kind of opens up what I can do with the channel too. At some point I can maybe figure out how to go live or something like that and do a live stream because I have a webcam now. But for the time being, I'm just going to get used to it for filming, but it expands the capabilities of what I can do with filming because I don't have to worry about whether or not battery life runs out and I have to charge it, or how much is the card going to hold video and space wise, because it's getting put right onto my computer. So that is a huge bonus in that sense. So there's definitely some benefits to it. Just a little bit of me learning the new equipment, getting used to a little bit of a new flow of how things work. But yeah, so far loving it, liking it. Yeah, so it's a little bit of an upgrade that I decided to do, and that was because it was on sale for Boxing Day. Yeah, so gotta love Boxing Day sales. But I think mostly that is the updates for the channel. That's what's been going on for my super busy December. I can't even believe that the year has come and it's gone. I don't even know where half of it went. Well, I do obviously, but like that last little bit, just boom, gone. It was actually kind of funny because it went so quickly when my sister and her family and my niece and all of that were up. We kind of knew that they were staying a week, or at least that's kind of what we figured, and that's what they ended up staying. Well, also my mom's telling me, oh yeah, well they're leaving, this is their last night here and they're leaving tomorrow. And I'm going, well, weren't they going to stay a week? I thought they were staying a week. And my mom goes, it has been a week. So yeah, that's just, yeah, that's where December went. That's the best way to describe how my December went. But yeah, so we're all caught up now. Whole bunch of new channel updates. So you're gonna probably start seeing, like I said, that shortened name. So you'll just see Dragonsjewel now. But I think most of you, that's probably the part of the channel that you remember the most name-wise anyways by this point. Especially if you're a long-term follower. It's not really going to change what you're seeing on anything. I know I show that little Dragonsjewel Creative Gems sign. You might see that stick around a little bit. Or I might create a new one that just says Dragonsjewel. We'll see what we're in the mood for. But you'll start seeing some of those changes, definitely. So keep your eye out for that. Don't be confused. It's the same old hands. Same old voice, same old channel, same old content, all that good stuff. So yeah, don't be shy. Don't be shy. I think, well, I'm almost done this section. I kind of want you guys to see because they've got the nice big special drills on this one. But yeah, so that's about it. I guess I can tell you today. Today is my Friday. Little man's at school right now, so the rest of the day I'm pretty much going to finish up this diamond painting. Then I'm going to do a quick kind of shower, get ready for the day, get dressed, that sort of stuff. Yes, I'm diamond painting in PJs right now. But, so there's that. And then later, little man's going to come home from school. He's going to go over to my parents for the night. So it'll be a kid-free night, so I'll get tons more diamond painting done in, obviously, for that. So these are the special drills, just a nice pearl. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be putting in those spaces there. But yeah, he's going to go over to their place tonight. I'm going to pop over a little bit later, just before dinner, because me and my mom have an introductory meeting over the phone with a place where we are looking at trying to get an assessment done for my son. Like I said, he deals with some sensory stuff, some motor stimulation, stuff like that. So we really just want to check off whether or not he has any form of autism or any sort of thing like that, where there would be additional supports that we could put in place for him, how to best kind of support him. Or is it really just a case of strategizing these few little things for him? But yeah, so basically we have that little introductory phone call, so I gotta go over from my mom's for that, and that's when I'm gonna sneak into her hot tub and hopefully loosen up some of these back muscles, because sleeping has not been comfortable and I haven't been sleeping well because of it on top of things. So if I can at least get that gone, that would be great. But that, I'm going to leave it at that. This is the little section. These are those wonderful little drills. You can probably see them a little bit over here too. They're a nice big pearl. They're throughout this Galaxy Girl painting. And then tons of beautiful ABs. Like, this has just been really sparkly and fun to work on. I'm loving it so far. I, of course, will end the video here, though. I've chatted on and on for a bit. I'm not sure how long this ends up being, because, of course, I can't look and see how long it's been anymore. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video with something new. Bye.